I want to talk to you about something. Baby, I know what you want to talk to me about, and I don't want you to say sorry for it, because love means you never have to say you're sorry. Do you get what I mean? 4 Christmases made $164 million around the world, but it almost didn't get finished. Reese Witherspoon and Vince Vaughn fought so badly that they had to stop filming several times. People who worked on the movie say Vince's habit of making up lines wasn't the main problem. It was something way more personal. Reese later talked about bad vibes in Hollywood without saying any names. She was talking about him. The real story of their fight on set includes a scene she refused to do, a movie premiere he skipped, and a beef that lasted more than 10 years. Reese Witherspoon was born on March 22, 1976, in New Orleans with a full name that sounded huge, Laura Jean Reese Witherspoon. Her parents already had tough jobs. Her dad was an ear, nose, and throat doctor and a lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army Reserve. Her mom got a Ph.D. and later became a professor of children's nursing at Vanderbilt. For the first 4 years of her life, she lived in Wiesbaden in West Germany because of her dad's army job. Life there was super strict, and the place was very organized. She picked up that routine before she even knew what it was. When the family moved back to the United States in 1980, they settled in Nashville. Life felt steady there, warm but with rules, and Reese grew up with her older brother, John Jr., in a house where doing well in school and working hard was just normal. She later went to Harpeth Hall School, a place that really shaped her, challenged her, and showed her what being ambitious looked like when you're young. At 7 hours, things changed a bit when a friend's parents chose her to be in a local flower shop's TV commercials. The second she stood in front of the camera, says, he felt a spark. She loved it. She wanted more. She started taking acting classes and began dreaming about being in movies, even though most kids her age were still figuring out what they wanted to do when they grew up. But she also got her first taste of getting turned down. She was too short for some modeling jobs, and that hurt early on. Still, she kept going. That stubbornness grew with every commercial she booked. The jobs were small, but each one made her a little braver and more comfortable in front of the camera. She worked hard in school, too. First at Harding Academy, then at Harpeth Hall. Her parents called her Little Type A because she wanted everything perfect. Then, in 1987, when she was 11, something big happened. She won first place at the 10-state talent fair. That moment made her feel like she could really perform. Her parents saw it too, even though they always hoped she'd go into medicine. Her win got some local attention, and that praise boosted her confidence and helped her imagine a future that was different from everyone else's around her. But life at home had its tough parts. After her dad's army time ended, money got tight. Her mom worked long hours as a nurse who helped deliver babies to keep things going. There were nights and weekends when Reese and her brother had to take care of themselves. She watched her mom stretch every dollar and handle stress without looking scared. Those times shaped how she thought about money and being independent. Her mom often told her that your job is your life insurance and warned her never to let anyone else control her money. Those lessons stuck with Reese and came back to her later when Hollywood started getting crazy in unexpected ways. Her real career started at 14 when she got the role of Danny Trant in The Man in the Moon in 1991. Thousands of girls tried out. She wowed the casting people, even though she had no real training. Filming happened in Natchitoches, Louisiana, and the southern feel suited her like an old friend. During her first kiss scene with Jason London, she was so nervous that she practiced it over 50 times. Her need to get things perfect showed up even then. The movie got great reviews and opened doors to a bigger world. 2 years later, she was way out in the Kalahari Desert, filming A Far-Off Place in 1993. She played Nani Parker and had to deal with super hot days, freezing nights, and tough desert conditions. The crew was from all over the world, and they even taught the actors survival stuff like digging for water in roots and starting fires. The elephants in the movie were fake ones made from foam and painted by hand, but they looked so real that some crew guys cried when they first saw them. The work was really hard, but it made her tougher and taught her what big movie productions were like. That same year, she did TV at 17 with Return to Lonesome Dove. It was filmed in Texas and had crazy weather. Weeks of burning heat and long days on horses tired everyone out. The younger actors had it the hardest, and she felt that too. Still, she got used to it and kept going. By November 1993, when the miniseries came on TV, she already knew how unpredictable and tough TV filming could be. At 18, she tried something darker with SFW in 1994. The role had fake hostage scenes and violent stuff. It was heavy and uncomfortable. Indie movies back then often went to the edge, and this one did too. It caused some talk, but it let her show she could do different things and be brave. She was learning that Hollywood wasn't easy, and that taking chances was important if she wanted to last long. During those years, she kept doing modeling and commercials. A Chevrolet ad from 1988 helped her save money to move to Los Angeles later. She turned down going full-time to Stanford to chase acting instead. It was a big risk for someone so young, but she always liked to jump in and figure it out later. That choice helped her get bigger roles quicker than people thought. Then came Fear in 1996. She was only 19 when she starred with Mark Wahlberg. The movie made $20 million at the box office, but off-camera, things were stressful. The director James Foley added an intimate scene that wasn't planned, and it made her feel unsafe. Wahlberg's deep acting style blurred the lines and scared her for real during rough scenes. The movie was shot in Seattle, and the set felt unpredictable. Her fear on screen was real, and that experience changed how she handled future roles. Later that year, she did Freeway. She played Vanessa Lutz, a girl running from abuse, and the story turned fairy tales into something rough and real. It showed at Sundance, went for the big prize, and became a favorite on HBO. Her bold acting got her a nomination for an Independent Spirit Award when she was just 20. The movie showed she could handle hard stuff and carry a dark story. In 1998, she was in Pleasantville, a movie that mixed comedy with deeper stuff. She played Jennifer and Mary Sue Parker in Two Worlds, going from black and white to color scenes. The effects team worked months on the lighting changes to make it look amazing. The movie made over $40 million worldwide and won her an MTV Award for Best Breakthrough Performance. Her vibe with Tobey Maguire was great, and people loved the message about accepting change. That same year, she did Twilight with big stars like Paul Newman, Gene Hackman, and Susan Sarandon. The movie made $15.1 million and didn't do as well as hoped. But working with those pros taught her a lot. She watched how they handled scenes, controlled feelings, and made small choices matter. Also in 1998, she starred in Overnight Delivery with Paul Rudd. It skipped theaters and went straight to video, but it helped her grow. It was filmed in Minnesota in 1996 using Rhea, local places, and she got the part over Joey Loran Adams. The video release meant less buzz, but it let her work on funny timing and easy chemistry with co-stars. Reese Witherspoon's climb wasn't straight up. It had fast bursts and quiet times of hard work. And once it really took off in 1999, it didn't slow down. Her role as Annette Hargrove in Cruel Intentions came first that year. The movie opened March 5, 1999, and made $13 million its first weekend. It soon hit $38 million in the U.S. on a $10.5 million budget. She was only 23, but how she played Annette made people stop and watch. She had softness but strength too, and it made people lean in. Overnight, she went from a promising young actress to someone the whole industry paid attention to. It shot her to A-list status, and it happened so quick, it felt unreal. But right after, something else big hit. Just weeks later, in April 1999, Election came out, and people saw her as a real powerhouse. Her Tracy flick was sharp and full of energy. She acted like she'd been that character forever. The movie made $22.5 million on a $6 million budget, and critics couldn't stop praising her. She got her first Golden Globe nomination, and that opened doors teen roles never could. Tracy Flick became a famous character, and Reese became the face of ambition, control, and hidden chaos. It pushed her way ahead of expectations. Still, she kept trying different things. In 2001, she did something fun and kid-friendly by voicing Serena in The Trumpet of the Swan. The animated movie came out June 21, 2001. It was 75 minutes long and made only $10 million worldwide. But it was her first voice acting job. It showed she wanted to try new stuff instead of sticking to one path. She worked with big voices like Jason Alexander and Carol Burnett. Even though it didn't do huge numbers, it added to her early work. Before that, she'd done smaller indie stuff. Best Laid Plans came out May 13, 1999, where she played Lissa, a blonde con artist in A Wild Night That Goes Bad. The movie made just $1.2 million, but IT gave her room to try gritty roles. It wasn't a crowd pleaser, but people who care about acting noticed. It showed she could go from teen drama to darker stuff without losing grip on her character. Those quiet choices often help actors more than big, flashy ones. Because of roles like that, by the end of 1999, she started saying no to teen scripts. Most young actresses would take them all, but she saw the danger. She didn't want to get stuck as the cute or sweet girl forever. So she turned them down again and again, even when the pay and fame were tempting. That choice changed everything. It set her up for the early 2000s and led to Legally Blonde and Sweet Home Alabama. But back in 1999, something personal happened on set. During Cruel Intentions, that rainy kiss with Ryan Philippe changed more than the movie. It started their real romance. They got married later that year and had 2 kids. On set, people talked about tension, especially with Sarah Michelle Gellar. Crew noticed little jealous moments, awkward vibes, and scenes that felt heavy off camera too. That movie had drama on screen and off, and it stuck with Reese for years. Then came Legally Blonde in 2001. This role could have trapped her as a stereotype. Producers wanted Elle Woods to be just a silly pink joke with no depth. But Reese fought back. From her time at Harpeth Hall in Nashville, she knew smart and fun could go together. She pushed for Elle to be clever, driven, and real. When it came out, it made a $141 million worldwide and became a huge cultural thing. Elle Woods became a role model for young women, and tons of people said it inspired them to go to law school. That role showed Reese wasn't just an actress. She got stories, audiences, and her own value. A year later, in 2002, she starred in Sweet Home Alabama as Melanie Smooter, and everyone fell for her again. The movie made $180 million worldwide on a $38 million budget, with a $35.6 million opening weekend that shocked the studio. It gave her a new level of fame and made her the rom-com queen of the early 2000s. Her charm felt natural. Locations in Georgia, like Crawford Lake near Atlanta, gave it that southern feel, and people went to see it over and over. That same year, she tried something different with The Importance of Being Earnest. She played Cecily Cardew, fitting right into Oscar Wilde's fancy words and style. Filming was in old British spots, including West Wycombe Park, where they paid £50,000 just to use the place. Dame Judi Dench played Lady Bracknell for the third time, and even her daughter Finty Williams had a small part. The movie had classic humor and class, and Reese fit in like she belonged in period dramas. It showed she could do international stuff and hold her own. Then came the moment that changed everything. Walk the Line came out November 18, 2005, and Reese's June Carter cash took her to a whole new level. The movie made $186 million worldwide and got 5 Oscar nominations. On March 5, 2006, at the Kodak Theater, she won Best Actress. That night, she thanked her team and honored June Carter's strength and heart. To get ready, she lost 20 pounds and secretly learned the auto harp. It was the hardest work she'd done yet, and it became the big turning point of her career. Later that year, she was in Just Like Heaven, out September 16, 2005. The supernatural rom-com made $16.4 million its first weekend from 3,508 theaters and ended up with $102.8 million worldwide. It mixed laughs with a quiet sadness, and Reese carried the feeling of a character who was there but not really there. People loved the sweet side, and it kept her hot streak going. By 2006, she started working behind the camera too. Penelope premiered at the Toronto Film Festival that year. Reese played Annie, but she also produced it. It was a fairy tale about curses and accepting yourself, filmed at Pinewood Studios in London. Christina Ricci starred as Penelope Wilhern, and the story was whimsical and heartfelt. Producing showed what Reese wanted next. She wanted control, creativity, and the chance to make stories her way. Reese Witherspoon got married young and full of hope in June 1999, still buzzing from cruel intentions. It felt like a fairy tale everyone thought would last. Their daughter Ava came in September that year, and for a while, it looked perfect. Then, in 2003, their son Deacon was born, adding more to their family. But things started changing slowly. By 2006, rumors said Ryan Philippe was with Abby Cornish. Those rumors got louder until they hung over everything. On October 30, 2006, the couple announced they were splitting. By November 8th, Reese filed for divorce. They said nice things in public, that they were sad but would co-parent well. But privately, the rumors and fame pressure hurt. The divorce was final in 2007, ending a chapter that started like a dream but finished under harsh spotlight. Years later, another thing made headlines. On April 21, 2013, she was in the passenger seat when her second husband, Jim Toth, got pulled over for suspected DUI. His level was 0.139, way over the limit, and things got messy fast. Reese got out of the car even when cops said not to. She argued, mixed up her words, and kept saying they didn't know who she was. The body cam caught her upset, as she warned it would be big news. She got charged with disorderly conduct, Toth with DUI, and both got out the next morning. She pleaded no contest, paid a $200 fine, and did a program to stay out of jail. The media went wild, and she later called the night horrific. That sorry started a quieter change in how she acted. Her second marriage started warm in March 2011. Reese and Jim Toth had a calm life and welcomed their son Tennessee in 2012. But by March 2023, after 12 years, they said they were separating. She said irreconcilable differences, and by August, the divorce was done. Soon after, she put their Nashville house up for $17 million and sold it later that year. People guessed cheating was involved, but neither said anything. Around then, selling Hello Sunshine added stress for both, something Reese later called a real wake-up. The timing made the split feel heavier, and fans watched as she dealt with heartbreak while building her business. That business started in 2016 when she founded Hello Sunshine to tell women's stories. Slowly, it made hits. Gone Girl in 2014. Big Little Lies in 2017, keeping her shining through 2019. Then, in August 2021, a Blackstone group bought Hello Sunshine for $900 million, and Reese became a billionaire overnight. She said the deal would help it grow without changing its goal. She and Sarah Hardin kept some ownership and joined the new board. Hollywood noticed what she'd built. A new power showing women's stories weren't just a phase, but the future. That same drive was in Big Little Lies, where she played Madeline Mackenzie from 2017 to 2019. The show dug into abuse and hidden hurt. Critics loved its realness, and the cast was HBO's star. In 2017, it won 8 Emmys. Reese won as producer for Best Limited Series, and people kept praising her acting. She felt the role was important because it spoke for women who'd been quiet too long. The win pushed her more into producing, showing she was way more than the cute face Hollywood once tried to keep her as. But none of this came without looking inside herself. After the 2013 arrest, she started therapy for anxiety, depression, and her drinking. She later said therapy helped her understand stuff she'd ignored for years. She thought about her grandma and how mental health used to be shameful, and she was glad she could face it head-on. Through therapy, she found a calmer voice and brought that to her role as Bradley Jackson in The Morning Show. The change made her tougher, helped her handle public hate, and inspired others to get help without shame. Peters. While Vince Vaughn's story started far from Hollywood. He was born March 28, 1970, in Minneapolis and moved to Lake Forest, Illinois at age 8. His mom, Sharon, did real estate and stocks. His dad, Vernon, did sales. At Lake Forest High, he played football, baseball, and wrestled. But he said he was just average. But something else was growing. He did school plays and tried improv as a teen. Seeing his mom push through hard times taught him hard work opens doors. By 17, in 1987, he decided acting could be it, and got a Chevrolet commercial that year. That little win pushed him toward Hollywood. In 1988, he moved to California, feeling confident from the ad. Over the next couple years, he was on China Beach and CBS school break specials. He went back to Chicago's improv scene for a bit to get better, then back to L.A., where getting rejected was normal in the early 90s. In 1993, he got his first movie role in Rudy as Jamie O'Hara. Small parts came after, each bumping his name up. Then, 1996 was huge. Jon Favreau wrote Swingers and gave Vince the part of Trent. The movie blew up in indie circles, and Vegas Baby followed him everywhere. His new fame didn't keep trouble away. In April 2001 in Wilmington, North Carolina, he was filming Domestic Disturbance when a night at Firebelly Lounge got violent. It started over a guy's girlfriend and turned into a fight with Vince, Steve Buscemi, and Scott Rosenberg. A local guy, Timothy W.R. Fogarty, pulled a knife and stabbed Buscemi 9 times in the head, throat, and arm. Cops arrested Vince and Rosenberg for the brawl, and each paid $600. Vince pleaded no contest. The charge got dropped 6 months later, and he paid a $250 fine. Buscemi got better, but the story spread and hurt Vince's image. By the time 4 Christmases started, both Vince and Reese had pasts that affected how they worked. The movie had an $80 million budget and came out November 26, 2008. Vince, who's 6'5", was also a co-producer, so he had extra responsibility. The studio wanted another hit, like Wedding Crashers from 2005. It ended up making a $100 million worldwide. But behind the scenes, tension between Vince and Reese was building. Reese got there at 5 a.m. ready to practice lines exactly. Vince came late, sometimes looking tired, and liked to make up stuff on the spot, which didn't match her planned way. The crew felt the stress every day. Fights happened over where to stand and how to say lines. People talked about Vince's angry looks when he got mad. Still, they had to work together, especially in scenes where their height difference was a problem. The 15-inch gap meant Vince had to pick Reese up for some dance parts. Those lifts felt like awkward teamwork on a tense set. Their styles clashed more as filming went on. Reese wanted exact timing. Vince added new lines in the middle of scenes. She got annoyed when his improv messed up her flow. He got upset when she wanted everything stuck to the script. Insiders said his looks got cold then, and the crew waited while they argued their ways. Every scene turned into a back and forth. Then another issue came up. In late 2007, still dealing with her divorce that finished in 2007, Reese asked for script changes. The messy family stuff felt too close to home. Filming stopped while writers made scenes softer for how she felt. That cost more money and slowed things down again. After wrapping, Vince booked other stuff for press. Reese ended up doing most promo alone. He even missed the premiere. Lots of people saw it as him getting back at her for the set fights. Reese tried to be nice in interviews, calling him funny, but everyone could feel the coldness. The real breaking point happened earlier. During filming in 2007, Reese said no to a planned love scene she thought was too steamy for her image after winning the Oscar. Sources said she was too mad at Vince to pretend that closeness. The studio cut the scene to avoid more drama. That bad feud lasted long after. They never did an interview together again. After 2010, Reese built Hello Sunshine and changed her career. Vince moved away from big lead roles to smaller stuff. In later talks, Reese mentioned toxic Hollywood vibes, hinting at old fights without saying names. It was kind of funny when both had DUI stuff. Hers in 2013, his in 2018, but only one rebuilt bigger. Reese climbed higher with business and stories. Vince went to a quieter spot in the industry. Their fight became Hollywood gossip history, showing how two strong people can turn a simple Christmas movie into years of bad feelings